husband hole.
Okay, no one's ever said that to me before.
I love doing things on your bedroom floor. As everybody knows by now.
Do you want to play now?
Welcome back to Such Fun, a podcast devoted to the discussion, education, and celebration of all things fisting. I am artist and illustrator Bigbuttgeek. I am artist and illustrator Bigbuttgeek, and I'm joined once again by this man over here.
Hi, I'm Jazzmatazz.
Welcome.
Just happy to be here.
Thank you. And welcome back to our video episodes as well. Special shout out if you're watching us on Patreon. And if you're still listening to us the old school way, hello. You're still welcome. You're still valid. It's okay. We're going to talk Lube again. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
The last time we did it, it was on a hotel room bed in Berlin in lockdown.
What episode was that? Like first season, episode 2?
I think it was part of the chunk that we did like in the bubble, like before we ever released this. This was, yeah. It was like, fuck it, let's just record a whole bunch and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
And here we are in a studio going, fuck it, we'll just record a whole bunch and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't changed a bit, have we? You know what I like about you is that I think...
My impeccable fashion. What?
Yeah,
Oh.
that exactly. No, it's the way your mind works. I think you and I have, like, together we have the right level of organization and improvisation.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Do you know what that is?
What's that?
Autism.
I love your earring, by the way.
Thank you. This is made by a friend of mine. He goes by, on Blue Sky, I believe it's UK Locked Boy or Locked Sub. One of the two.
Look them both up.
It's a dear friend. Yeah, he, him and his, I think I can say his partner. Well, they create a lot of lovely paraphernalia. It's just a lovely bottle of poppers, which I was going to gift to you until I realized you don't actually have pierced ears.
My lobes are so small. What do you think? I've been wanting to get both my ears pierced. I haven't bit the bullet yet, obviously. Will you hold my
fine.
hand? You know how I was not willing to shave my head until you were holding my hand doing it for me?
Yeah.
Do you, will you take me?
Sure.
Now?
Well, I think we need to do this first, but we could do it
Tomorrow.
at some point. Tomorrow. God.
All right, come to Berlin and take me. Just take me in Berlin.
Do you know what? Actually, I do know an adorable fisty pup in London, and he's now like fully trained as like a piercer. So I want him to pierce me, and he can do your ears while you're at it.
Yeah,
I don't know what I want pierced, but I want him to do it because he's top notch.
I honestly don't know if I'd feel comfortable trusting a straight person to pierce me. I need queer.
Yeah,
I need queer piercing.
Queer piercing, yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna get this done.
All right.
First half of this year.
Okay.
Thank you.
What should I get done? I don't know if I'd look good with the.
I think you should try it out with a fake one, like I did last year, and just see how it looks and how you feel.
Okay. I feel like actually maybe like the nose.
I reckon you could do with like a little stud in your nose with some bright color or fucking
I don't know about a color.
diamond or something.
But maybe the nose.
And like enamel on your two front teeth in gold.
Well, to really bring out the yellow of the rest of them. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, well, a good friend of mine, one of my best friends, she's got this thing here. Just a tiny little, it's red. Oh, she's got different colors, obviously, but I think most of the time, actually, it's black. I find it quite gorgeous, and I've never known her without it. And it's just part of her face. It's like understated and quite nice.
Mm. Yeah. So as they've always had it, then you used it, but
I don't know if it'd suit you, actually.
What, nose or?
No, here.
The nose, maybe. I think maybe the no. I think like, because I've got this, so maybe like something here, either like a stud or like a ring. My PT actually has a nose ring. I
used to have a colleague who had a stud, and the top was really, really understated, but inside her nose I could always see the other side, and I always thought she had snot in her nose. So I don't know how I feel about these nose piercings. It would catch me every time.
Anyway, lube. I mean, cards on the table. You know, I mean, I think it's well known we are very much sponsored by X Lube, but we will discuss other lubes as well. But genuinely, like I've been using them for what, like 7 years now. I ain't changing.
This is overkill. This is like all the 15 American flags that Donald Trump has behind his, sorry for saying that name, desk or whatever. But I'm a convert. I certainly when X-Lube came out and I used it for the first time, Folsom Fair in Berlin.
I think you told me the story. Yeah.
14.
So this is when they
Cutler X was on the street selling X-Lube with his fucking dick out, and I'm grabbing the dick and we're having a good time, and then he's showing me the lube and we're having a good time. He did not. Did he? I think we met later at a fist party. I forget what happened. The rest is history.
I mean, I think you'd remember.
It was a long time ago, and I smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I think since because I remember us talking about like X Lube, when did we do this 5 years ago? We last spoke about it. I think at that time, like X Lube has very much become the standard now. It's a bit now. It used to be kind of like a level playing field. Like, you know, you're a J Lube girl, a K Lube girl, Crisco girl, an X Lube girl. Now it's like you're still using J Lube. Like it's very like, sweetie, we need to have words,
and
it's
for good reasons.
And I'm not me. I mean, you know, I mean, I think everyone knows. Like I'm obviously affiliated. I do the artwork for the stickers that you find in the bottles.
But it's for good reasons. Like J Lube, of course, is made for animal husbandry. So when you're impregnating a cow,
I'm the cow.
You're the cow.
I'm the cow. Moo bitch, get out of the way.
You did that to me just outside 5 minutes ago.
Well, sorry, you were saying like, do you know what makes you really autistic? Because you don't make enough space for me on the pavement. I was like, it's just because of this dump truck, but
dump truck ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So J Lube being the original and not the best is, I don't know the science around
original of like powdered lube though.
Exactly. Yeah. Powdered meaning, of course, you can make it as thick or thin. Well, not as you can make it as thick or thin as you want, and it's much safer for heavy stretching. It's full of sugar.
Yeah,
I guess that's somehow connected to like the binding agent or whatever that makes this lube thick is the sugar. So, of course, with sugar you get bacterial growth really, really quickly.
Yeah. When I used to use J Lube, so obviously still early days of fisting for me. I remember, so me and my friend Andrew, I used to I lived with him for a bit, and we used to honestly just get a bowl and like a mixer, and oh my god, the fucking faff. And I spilt some J Lube on his carpet, his rental at the time, and that never came out. It was.
Did you have to escape the apartment and escape the landlord and the repercussions of that?
I don't think we were speaking at the time, so I think it's just
okay.
It's like, fuck. That's your problem. That's how I roll. But yeah, I just look back on it and just think like, God, why were we using this stuff? It was terrible.
I don't hate it. J Lube works.
If you get, to be fair, I've known some people who can get it like amazing consistency.
Pretty sure Hunger FF still uses J Lube.
No, he has converted now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's you're welcome.
Pretty fresh. That's
I know.
Fresh.
Yeah. But I think the people that still use it, I think it's just, you know, like we were talking about with gloves and kind of like the theatre putting on. I think it just feels like you're still connected to something very old school with fisting. I think that's what people like. It's the same for the Crisco users. They know it's not really the best thing to use.
I do like Crisco, I gotta say. I haven't used it in a long time, but I will buy it like now and again, probably for that reason, because there's something about the aesthetic of it and the smell of it, I guess, which
I never really got into it. I think maybe I used it once or twice. I just didn't like it just, maybe as a baker, I was just like, this is not.
Right.
Yeah, but for Christmas just gone, I made my own mince pies for the first time, and it said you had to use a vegetable shortening like Trex or Crisco, and I got very excited. But also, I was like, this isn't available in the store, like in the UK. It's just not really available.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm gonna have to literally go to a sex shop and get this
exactly.
for my mince pies.
In Germany, I think they only sell it at KaDeWe, which was like the bastion. Is that the correct word? Bastion, Western shopping mall of West Berlin for like 50 years or something, and they go to the international section. And in the American section of the international section, you can buy
There's
Christmas.
an international section.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Okay.
That was their whole big thing. It's like everything from the Western world you could ever want.
How do you mix up your lube?
Not with a fork anymore. So this lube is great. Like, of course, I am a convert. I also like K-Lube.
Yeah, valid.
I was a K-Lube girl for a good few years there, and I still have the dregs of one bottle at home. So in case of emergency, smash glass.
I think I was a K-Lube user for a good few years.
Yeah, it's tried and true.
Yeah,
I'm happy with it.
I think what switched me over was I found it a bit easier to mix, and I knew it lasted longer after. Like J-Lube, but I'd leave it for a day and be like, this fucking reeks. Like, I need to bin this.
Exactly.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Whereas K-Lube, I'm like, all right, it's been like a week. It's still smells okay.
K-Lube has a preservative in it, so it's also
Yeah.
gonna last you quite a while if you need it to.
But not sugars, does it?
No sugars.
No.
But X-Lube, I mean, I just do what it says on the tin, on the packet.
By the way, the amount of people that are still like, I don't know how to use it. It's really difficult to in this voice. Yeah, it's really I don't know. I'm like, there's fucking instructions on this. Like, I don't. And the amount of people are like, well, it didn't mix properly for me. Like, what'd you do? Like, well, I put the powder in first. And I'm like, so you didn't read that? You didn't read that, did you?
I have a digression to make.
Please do.
So
Did I tell you? So I had a boy over.
yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, make my lube for me. I'm like, fine. I don't know why I agreed to that. And to be fair, he had X lube, so he got and then he opened it, and I was like, oh, here's your free sticker, because obviously they've come with stickers. I gave it to him. He was like, oh, thanks. And I was like, there was this pause, and I went, I drew that. So unimpressed. It's like, slay.
Did you still fist him?
Yeah.
Was it any good?
It's got a nice butt.
Yeah, I'm glad it's your artwork and not mine. I'm glad that's all you, because I would like to. Yeah, if I were you, I would like to avoid awkward moments like that. Holy shit. I'm sure it's not the first time that's happened, right?
Do you remember?
I guess people are usually quite enthusiastic about seeing your artwork on. I know this for a fact. In fact.
Yeah, the guy that runs is it I Love Fist in Berlin?
Davey.
Yeah, he's a big lover of it.
Nice.
Which is great. I don't think I've opened this.
How many different people have you drawn for X-Lube?
Oh god, I think we're on about 60 or something now. We've been doing it a few years. Who've I got?
There's even a guy who has them all framed, right?
That's a cool one.
And was collecting signatures.
Yeah, he's one of the. Well, because of that, he then became one of the stickers.
What's his name? S.A. Expression or something?
Yes, I don't know how you actually pronounce it, but yeah. There you go.
He's sweet.
I have to mix it.
Right, so you put in 2 caps full of the powder, but
Yeah,
only after.
I'll mix it. Like
Go
it's,
on.
I've
Only after
honestly,
you put the
I.
water in.
But when we were at the first time we went to Darklands together, and we were at.
Do you want me to go and get the water?
I've got some water.
Okay.
Other
first
bottles
time
are available. Yeah, so we were going. Was it Teddy Glover's place we went to for like dinner?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dinner.
I remember there was some eating.
Yeah.
And there was a guy and he was like shaking up his lube, and it was so lumpy, and I was like, dude, like, oh, are you using like J lube? And he was like, no, it's X lube. I was like, what the fuck have you done to this? How? I don't think it was possible to have a lumpy X lube. I've actually got.
If you put flour in it, maybe.
I mean, that's what I mixed up yesterday. This is less than 24 hours, and that is crystal clear. It's lovely. I always put a bit of I think it's just habit, really. But I always put like some K creme. I always put a dollop of that in. I think I just like the smell more than anything.
Well, the active ingredient in that is clove oil, which is I think an anti-inflammatory and a numbing agent, all natural.
Yeah.
Not that you're going to numb your ass completely. It'll just take the edge off. And we love taking edges off.
I really do. All right, I'm just half filling this with water.
That's the other thing. I don't fill it too far. Because otherwise then you can't, like, shaking it doesn't work. So, like, half full to 2/3 full.
Yeah.
2 caps in.
I think they recommend 1 cap, but honestly, as much or as little as you want. But I always do, pro tip, turn the bottle. I used to doing this away from a sink. Oh, there we go. There's a very good video of Axel Abyss doing this. You know, and he's all sexy and French doing it. You know? So all you need is your powder lube, and you just do it like this. Just everything's so French and sexy. I'm like, stick it in, mix it up. What's the cap? Oh, there we go.
And
I'm making this look far more difficult than it is.
It's so simple. It's like 4 steps.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Like 30 to 60 seconds. Carry on.
I'm not even that diligent. I'll do it for 20 seconds and then let it rest.
You're a busy woman.
And then do it again 10 minutes later. But what was I going to say?
That's rhythm. All right. And then I'll put the rest of the water in. So it's about 500 milliliter capacity. I mean, it's like most sports bottles.
Do you think it makes a difference at what point you put things in?
Well, don't put powder in first, and then what? Cause then it,
okay,
that's
together, integral, right? I get that.
Yeah.
But like, people are all about putting extra ingredients in. People have like a whole recipe for their lube.
I find that's more the J-Lubey people.
I don't. No.
Right, I'm literally just gonna leave that like on its side.
I find it's more the autistic people. No, it's
hey.
People have the tried and true things that they like, right? Like I like my clove oil. I used to use panthenol, and I've just ordered some more after many years of not using it because that is also a natural anti-inflammatory. Not sure about the natural part, and it's fine for your insides as far as I know. Do not quote me on that. I'm not a scientist. But you use it on babies and you use it on dry patches of skin with dermatitis and what have you. So I want to try it again because when I first began fisting or getting fisted, I was using panthenol in my lube and it worked a treat.
Are you big into like the numbing agents?
Excuse me. Like what?
Like
lidocaine.
Lidocaine.
I find lidocaine.
Wait, you say lidocaine?
Yeah.
Say lidocaine.
It might be the German in me. I'm not sure. And I is pronounced E, so it's lidocaine. Lidocaine. I find it hot. Lidocaine, I find hot. I'm sorry, but like, I think it's from watching porn where like the bottom's like taking fucking triple fists, and then all the fists come out, and he's got this. There's this one particular Russian bottom FF, bottom_FF. Not easy to find online, but there are things. If you look hard enough, and he's got this little spray bottle of lidocaine, and he like just reaches back. It's like it got a long nozzle, and it's a spray pump thing, and he reaches
a cream.
Back. You can have it as a cream. You can have it as a spray.
Okay.
And he like sprays it like 3 times or something in his butt, and I just get off on that so much. I can't tell you why. It's just part of the process, and that it's him taking so much, and I goon out on that shit. Yeah, do you like it?
Yeah, I was given some lidocaine. I think it was some sex health checkup I got. They were like, oh well, if you're doing the fisting, here, have some anisole, have some lidocaine.
What's
I'm
anisole?
Anisole, that's more like a if I understand correctly. It's more like a post-it. So say if you have a hemorrhoid, herpes, it's like kind of soothe. I'll sometimes like after play, I'll put, if I think like, oof, went a bit much there, I'll put some anusol on, and it just kind of soothes everything a bit.
Yeah.
It's definitely not preventative. It's like,
And I think,
you
see,
do it after the fact.
I see. See, I think panthenol is the preventative version of that.
Right. Yeah.
That's my understanding.
I never really got into this until, well, I very, very occasionally, until our US trips, putting the Voltarol on your butt, which don't recommend. Obviously, it will say on the tubes, like, not for internal. You really, it's really not meant to use around the butthole. But hey, people will do it. I found that was very much a day 3 of Fist Fest essential.
Yeah, it burns.
It does. Yeah,
My God, it burns, and then suddenly it feels like there's nothing going on inside.
Yeah,
and then you're like, okay, I guess I'm ready to sit down on anything now.
Yeah, it's a bit like dying in a fire. It burns and then nothing. Nothingness. This episode is sponsored by our friends at Fuck Yeah Machines. The FY500 is a beast of a machine, designed and made in the UK especially for big toy players.
This is the strongest machine on the market, handling the biggest toys you can imagine.
Featuring a huge stroke length of 1 inches to 18 inches, great for those who like it deep, but also flexible.
Completely adjustable on the fly when in use, thanks to the Fuck Yeah app. This offers remote control from any smartphone, tablet or laptop. You can also download new patterns from the Fuck Yeah community and share your designs.
Super solid heavyweight construction, no moving around when in use, and includes suction cup feet to really anchor it down to smooth floors.
Powerful digital motor for precise and customizable control. It doesn't just go back and forth. There are unlimited possibilities to make your toys move however you want with custom patterns in the app.
It even has ports for accessories like lube pumps and aroma vaporizers, which you can control with the app and sync up to the machine movement.
There are accessories available for mounting practically any type of toy, either using the VacuLock adapter or the strap-on mounting rings. And for really, really huge toys, there's the XL mounting plate, which supports toys with a base all the way up to 28 inches around.
Fuck Yeah Machines offers second to none support and with a 5-year warranty for complete peace of mind.
To find out more info and current availability, check it out on the website at fuckyeah.uk and use the code SUCHFUN to get a discount when you order. This episode is brought to you by King 3D.
In a world full of fetishes, chastity has rocketed in popularity. In fact, chastity has even been named Fetish of the Year 2025. Sorry about that, Fisters. And there's one company at the centre of the chastity world, Kink 3D.
The brand behind the Cobra, the distinctive black cages that look like sleek, sexy armour for the cock. King 3D changed the game by making it possible for just about anyone to get locked up safely and comfortably without needing to order a custom device.
King 3D's philosophy is to make locking up easy, so you can put on your cage and just live your life. Their cages are made with advanced 3D printing technology, so they're ultra lightweight and strong enough for work, sports, travel, playtime, and much more.
Plus, they've now got a whole new cage line, the Kink 3D Viper, with a form-fitting new shape and enhanced sensory denial. With 20 unique sizes for the Cobra and 20 more for the Viper, it doesn't matter if you're big or small, just about everyone can find a size that will fit just right.
If you're not sure of your size, Kink 3D support team is renowned for their personalised assistance, available through kink3d.com. You can also check out their site for a growing list of stores in North America, Europe, the UK and Australia, where you can try on their cages in person to find your perfect fit.
For such fun listeners, Kink 3D is offering a free Nether Nudger accessory in classic black or new Arctic white colour when you order a full chastity kit on their site. This is a Kink 3D original creation that will help you stay comfortably lined up in your cage throughout the day.
Just go to kink3d.com/fun. That's KINK, number 3, letter D, .com/FFUN. So check out Kink 3D and see for yourself why their cages are worn by so many of the most dedicated chastity fans around the world.
This episode was sponsored by studfist.com. We're doing another video review from their website. This time we're watching Bumps with Bobby Riker topping Riddick. And I gotta say, I quite enjoy this one. Riddick is on his back, legs spread wide and ready for a smooth ride. Bobby has other ideas. He's gonna get that double. And you can feel it. He's like, I'm gonna get that double. And I gotta say, a lot of my fisting sessions are a bit like that. especially when it comes to taking doubles. And the most magical part is when you just give in. And he gets it.
Okay. She punching out that prolapse. Okay.
It's just as we all can appreciate the roughness now and again, right?
I feel like they very much set out what they were going to do in this session. It's like, we will not deviate from the plan.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot. It's rough. So if you're looking for extreme, Studfist is definitely the place.
Yeah. So this episode was called Bumps. Go to studfist.com and check it out for yourself.
One of the more recent additions to the Top Toys collection is the Apex. I particularly enjoy this toy because it's like a next level up from the grip. It's the same cone shape, but its taper is nice and soft actually, so it lulls me into this false sense of security that we're not going for the major stretch today. But, you know, you do get there, and then as you're going over the ridge, the shape of it kind of drops off immediately. Not like the grip, which has some, it's a bit more forgiving. This is just like immediate, and your whole kind of, for want of a better word, snaps over the ridge, and reaches immediately this neck that is also not tapered off. It's a wide fucking neck, and it's honeycomb textured, so it's gorgeous and brutal. That is, for me, what this toy is. It's gorgeously brutal. It's brutally gorgeous. So you want to get off it immediately because it's so intense, and then you want to hop down over the ridge again immediately after that. So I think it very much lends itself to destroying your hull. It brings out the piggy in me, I gotta say.
Do you have any Lube horror stories?
Slipping on Lube, yes. In Lab in Berlin. We've talked about this before.
Do you remember I slipped and fell on my ass at Darklands?
I don't recall that.
Play area, yeah.
Yeah. You would have hit about 10 bottoms on your way down. That place is
really
always
did.
so full.
Yeah.
In the fisting area.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not going back this year. They're having it for the final time. In that location, at least.
Yeah.
And I'm not going
Where would you
back.
want it to be?
Honestly, I don't really know. I don't know of a venue in Berlin that's appropriate for it. I mean, take any convention center, I guess, because that's where it is. And they just convert the fuck out of it.
Yeah, wherever they do DragCon, just do it there.
Yeah, right. You've had a great time at Darklands in the past. On stage as well.
Oh, well.
So I shouldn't put words in your mouth and say you've had a great time. Have you had a great time?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's very choose your own adventure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you
know, actually, this leads us quite nicely back to Lube. Because actually, I found out a lot of kink events, and especially, I mean, we're recording this in Manchester, and actually, there's quite a few venues here that have been very anti-fisting lubes because they've had too many instances where people have, like, spilt it, someone slipped on their ass and, like, I don't know, broken something, but, you know, hurt themselves, and then the venue's liable. So it's become quite contentious bringing fisting lubes. I think it was last year at the Rubber Weekend. They do this every year. They've been doing it for donkey's years here. I mean, it's a weekend event, and it's primarily for people that just like being in rubber. So it's not labeled as a fisting event or anything like that.
do you think
People were very annoyed that you couldn't bring your fisting loops. It's like, well, that's why I came here. I want to get fisted all night, and it's like, well, that's nice, babe, but that's not really what this was for. And like, I get it. And I think as soon as I worked in management, in healthcare, and, you know, you have all these like building health and safety stuff. Like, I get it. Like, someone's fucking liable for this. Are you gonna pay if someone? Yeah, it's like, so I get it. Unless it's if it's an event for fisters, then of course you need to be able to bring your own lube. But other than that, like, yeah, sorry, it's your little free sachets of liquid silk, I'm afraid.
But it's also a reflection of, this fact, I guess, that there are enough people out there that don't clean up after themselves when they play.
Yeah.
In a
We've created the
setting.
problem. Yeah.
Right. Like, if you're gonna fist on like we did, I think it was Chicago or somewhere on one of our US tours where it was in a bar and we weren't supposed to be fisting there, we found out, but we only found out after we'd started, and like I forget if I was definitely topping, and it was like at the bar we'd put a play sheet down
Yeah.
the bottom was standing up. I'm not sure if it was you or somebody else, but they told us to stop pretty immediately because of like the slipping factor.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not hard to bring your puppy pad with you, and then clean up with paper towel anything that you know that's kind of left on the ground.
That's why I love puppy pads.
If
And
we
I
all
take
did
them with me,
this, we wouldn't have any problems, and Manchester Rubber Weekend would be fine with us.
It's clear because some idiot like just spilt Lube over it and didn't bother cleaning up or bringing it to someone's attention.
Yeah, it's not hard. You just need to think about other people
Yeah.
when they're walking on the path next to you, next to your dump truck ass.
I'm sorry, my butt's autistic.
At least it's got a beauty spot.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, getting fisted on the dance floor. It's not so much a horror story. It's more just like being mindful of what people around you need. Like I'm sure I've mentioned this on a previous season, but when somebody comes to you while you're getting fisted on the dance floor and they say to you, "You're what gives us fisters a bad name." You give us.
Someone say that to you.
Someone said that to me while I'm getting fisted on the dance floor. Yeah,
It was me.
with probably no puppy pad down. And at that point I stopped doing that. I was like, have a think, Mr. Matazz.
Yeah.
Maybe this is not your finest moment. Maybe you don't need to be doing this at all.
How do you think? I mean, that kind of leads into like etiquette with lube as well. Clean up after yourself
Exactly.
as much as
As
possible.
best
I
you
mean,
can, yeah.
yeah. I mean, we've both been at a lab in Berlin where I sort of like. For any paper towels or anything, like it just kind of turns into a free for all.
But lab is a special place. They really don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I get it.
And when the paper towel is out, the paper towel is out.
Yes.
And if you slip and like break a bone, it's on you. They're not going to change.
When the wall falls, and that's just what we just have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You only manage to pull off a scat party if you have an attitude like that, I think.
Yeah.
So, live and let live. That's Berlin.
Do you, how do you, because I think I told you, I've had a few people now who've come to mind for a liaison, and I've had to make their lube for them. Yeah. Now, I understand there's some people, like I play with a lovely gentleman over the Christmas period, and he was like visiting. He didn't live in Manchester, like he was visiting, so he didn't come with any of his supplies or anything, and it was just like, okay, I get it. Like, you're going to have to clean out of mine. I'm gonna have to make your lube for you, or at least provide you with stuff. That's fine. I know that ahead of time, and I appreciate that. But when it's like, no, you could have done all this. How do you respond to that? Are you quite willing to do these things for people, or?
I am. I will do it, and I will treat it as most likely. I'll treat it as an educational moment and make that person feel pretty terrible about themselves. And never do it again. But more lately, I'm actually mostly playing with my lover who has no experience, and so of course I'm patient, and of course I'm like, yeah, this is X-Lube, this is how you mix it, and he's like smart as fuck as well, so he just needed to be shown. He didn't even need to be shown. He could have just figured it out, I'm sure.
Or he can read the pamphlet.
Read the packet, exactly.
Read the pamphlet.
Read the packet. It's not hard. No, but yeah, I try not to be too much of an asshole about it. Everybody learns in their own time. I'm sure I was a slow learner with this kind of stuff, but I was very experimental, curious. I was very curious and happy to experiment. I still remember the early days of like mixing up J-Lube in a bowl with the fork and everything. And
I think when I first moved here, I was at someone's apartment for something. Like it was like a group. It was not a sex thing. I don't know. Maybe like board games were being played or something. And I think the couple, their fisters, or one's a fisting top, one's a fisting bottom, and they had like a bowl of lube like on their kitchen table. I think it was K-Lube or something, and it was just sat out uncovered. And he was like, "Oh yeah, we made that yesterday, and we'll probably use that tonight." I was like, "You've just left. That's just gonna have a film of dust, no bacteria, any other gubbins on that." I thought that's fucking disgusting. disgusting. It took everything in my power not to just go.
Not in my hole.
You're just not
Mm,
not in front of my salad.
That's pretty
It's
horrible.
yeah, it was pretty rank. Yeah, I don't speak to them. I thought you're not my kind of fisters.
the story of how I almost snapped my tendon here between my thumb and forefinger. I was at this fisting party in a dungeon in Berlin a good few years ago, and it was overfilled with people. Like, capacity was probably 20, but they had 40 guys. And a lot of high guys. And this beautiful, muscular stud of a man, this big black guy, wanted me to fist him. And I was like, yeah, sure, great. Where's your lube? Oh, it's over there. And then he like lays face down on this mattress, and I'm like trying to get the lube out, and he's already moaning, and I'm like, that's odd. As though my hand is already inside him, and I'm like, what have you taken tonight? And he's like, oh, just a bit of Tina. I'm like, oh, here we go. Now I have the rule that I don't play with people high on crystal meth. You know, it's just a no-go. And I'm trying to get this lube open, and the bottle is really stuck, like really, really stuck. And I'd smoked a few joints at that point, so I'm just like, no, just keep. It's logical just to keep squeezing harder and harder until it will come out. Of course, this did not happen. The mechanism at the nozzle was apparently broken. And I squeezed. It wasn't this hand. It was this hand. I squeezed so hard that I heard a snap. And still no lube came out. But because, and this is the beauty of weed, because I'd smoked these joints, I was like, oh, it doesn't hurt that much. I'll just take the cap off and I'll dig the lube out myself and give him a good old punch. Not my finest moment. Really not. So it can be dangerous. Yeah.
I'm always trying to convert the straighties to the wonders of powdered lube. Like, you had a lesbian couple
recently,
you were
yes,
trying
exactly.
you were like, hey, guess what? I've got the solution to your problems, ladies.
Yeah, I was at Stretch, and I was setting up myself to sit on this beautiful like traffic cone toy, like about this long. Oh, fucking stunning. And I was like getting all enthusiastic, like, here's my toy, here's my lube, here's my poppins.
You ugly man, you can't look at me while you're doing That's what you told me. Stop looking at me.
That man came very close when I was sitting on this is anachronistic now, but I was sitting on the toy, and this guy's just like here, and I'm like, how long is it going to take him to realize that I don't want him that close while I'm sitting down on this toy? And I was like, wait, no more waiting. I was like, can you just take a few steps back? He was lovely, actually. And then, like, I don't know, 10 seconds later, I was like, I actually need to lean back against somebody. Can you just come around here? So it was super helpful. Anyway, before that happened, these two ladies were observing what I was doing, and I was like back and forth with toys and things, and they're like, hey, can you just tell us what kind of lube do you use? And I was like, well, let me go and get it for you. I'll make you a batch. And I did. And they at that point had never heard of powdered lube. They showed me what they used, and it was kind of basically the thickest non-powdered water-based lube you can get.
Right.
It's like, almost like a cream, like a jelly or something.
These were two postmenopausal women, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or at least one of them was. She told me a story about that, right?
So it's all a bit drier down.
Yeah, she was mentioning how, it's not as wet as it used to be. And I was like, well, it sounds like this would be perfect for you because this is a game changer. Because they were also like telling me the size of the dildos that they use with each other. And I was like, how do you get all of that in without using fisting lube?
Yeah.
So I made them a batch, and they went away and played with that. And yeah, the rest is history. I think it's still not common knowledge outside of faggots fisting, I think.
Yeah, my old job, I went to this there was a sort of local sex health service, and we went to a little like meeting they were trying to set up a different resort resource for the doctor's surgery I was working at. It's all very complicated. But anyway, but you know, they're going over obviously what they can provide and what testing. It was like, oh, we give out condoms. I'm like, what are these? And also there were like the sachets of lube, and I thought I'll be really smart, because autistic. So I was like, hi, is it 100% body safe, the lube that you're providing? They were like,
Ooh.
it's water based, and I was like, that's not the question I asked. I wasn't quite this sassy, but I was like, well, no, I just obviously when it's
like
not
a
just
Senate inquiry.
well, obviously you're giving this lube out indiscriminate of like anal or vaginal sex, so you're just recommending this to everyone and everything. They're like, yeah, and it was like, well, is that this not going to cause yeast infections? Is that perfectly safe for vaginal? Because my God, let me tell you, women are just having UTIs back to back. I don't know what they're shoving up in there, but it's a delicate ecosystem. So you better make sure the lube you're using is correct, because that's just going to fuck everything up. He just did not understand the question at all, and I just thought, this is really bad.
Wait, so who was he?
He was like one of the reps from the sexual health center service,
And he didn't know how to answer these questions.
no, he looked at me like I'd just like taken a shit on the table.
This man must not actually be having sex.
He was very weird looking, so maybe. I don't think he had kids.
Oh, that explains
Yeah.
it.
But he had a little like
Poor people
sperm
with kids.
keychain that one of the girls I was with was like, I love your keychain. I was like, here you go, you can have my sperm keychain.
Oh.
It was a very weird exchange. Yeah, and I just thought, I'm not trying to be like, I got you, but I was like, but
But
is
you
this not
did
something
get it.
that you're not thinking about? Like, this is, I don't know, when I used to work in sex shops, we used to have a wall of lube, and only like 3 of them on there were actually body safe.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's crazy.
Which, by the way, again, hey, it's sponsored, but this, my God, has been through every piece of testing you can think of. I think they've nearly got their FDA approval as well. So honestly, this is completely non-toxic, non-sterile, anal, vaginal. So for the love of God, please be using this. And look, progress flag.
And no,
Because everyone can use it. Everyone. So I mean, the amount of trans fisters I know that love this as well. They can get fisted vaginally as well.
the fact that
Pup Z, Pup Z, like they're
Yeah.
a big, they're a big lover of it as well.
yeah,
So
yeah, and it's the only lube that's ever gone for an accreditation, right? Like a body safe.
well, that's the thing. Like most of these, and there's a few other like, I'm not gonna name and shame, but there's a few other like powdered lubes that market themselves as fisting lube. Well, they're marketing themselves as a viable lube to fisters, but when it comes to actual like advertising and putting it on selling platforms, they can't really advertise it as something for internal use. They can't, because it doesn't have the testing, it doesn't have the accreditation for it at all. Whereas X Lube either does or it's going for it.
Yeah.
But believe, I mean, look it up for yourselves. It's passed every kind of every kind of testing you can think of, as well. I mean, the only thing that can go wrong is, I suppose, if you're putting it in a container that's not sterile, maybe that's not been washed, then it could lead bacteria. But the product itself is completely sterile. So I think you can leave it. If I remember correctly, I think it's about 4 weeks. It can go. You could just leave it. Mixed up. So you could come back to it. I know I've certainly done that, and it's been absolutely fine. No problems.
Yeah.
I know people who've used J-Lube 48 hours after, and it's like, something's wrong with my guts now. I'm like, well, yeah. Any final thoughts on lube?
I like
Lube
it.
good. Lube good. We like lube.
Lube very good.
Lube very good.
More lube, even better.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? I hate having to ask for more lube when I'm getting fisted. I feel like a good top should just know. It just keep you hydrated.
Is it weird if I say that, like, sometimes I like to be a bit nasty to my bottoms? If they're quite big and experienced bottoms, and I'll wait until it gets kind of dry. Is that bad? That's bad. I shouldn't do that.
I don't know about you.
I like to tease really, really experience bottoms. I think it's a special fetish. Yeah. It's kind of fucked up.
I think we're done here. Lube good. Use lube. On that note, happy fisting, everyone.
Some people like less lube.
I think we're done. I think we're done.
Some people like less,
on this.
okay?
Use lube.
Use
Stop.
lots of lube.
Don't be like, oh look, I took a fist dry. Like, now you've got a hemorrhoid. Well done.
I find dry fisting. I've done it once in my own butt, and I found it so hot. Sorry.
And we're done. All right, happy fisting. Bye.
Happy fisting.
I'm just a whole set. It does feel like finding your tribe.
You've got husband hole.